But how can they keep people safe? One way would be the use of thermal cameras. It's a possibility that's getting a lot more attention these days. Here's our Brianna Whitney to explain.
Could this be our new normal? Walking into a building and having a thermal camera reading our body temperature as a precaution before we're allowed in. It's something many companies are looking at turning to, and something you could see here in Arizona.
Your new normal in public could look a lot more colorful.
Thermal cameras are a fairly good idea. They were used during the SARS epidemic, and the technology has improved so much.
Dr. Frank LaVecchio says these could be a good way to quickly and safely test a group of people for an elevated temperature. And if they're showing signs of a fever above 100.4 degrees or a higher temperature than many people before them, they could be asked to go through further testing or possibly be denied entry.
They're fairly accurate. You could strike a beam, non-toxic beam, on your forehead or on the person, and it'll tell you their temperature.
One of the largest manufacturers of these thermal cameras, FLIR Systems, tells me Fortune 500 and 100 companies in Arizona have already reached out to them with interest. FLIR already provides the thermal cameras used by ADOT in their wrong-way detection system. But Dr. LaVecchio says the drawback is when people with COVID-19 develop a fever.
In fact, 2 to 5 days before they get the fever, they're sick, and they're very contagious at that time. So it'll detect you when you have a fever, but you kind of missed out on those days before.
If companies or businesses decide to use these, Dr. LaVecchio says they would need to develop a plan on what to do if somebody does have a fever. But he says this could be the future at several places around town.
First thing that comes to mind is maybe on the light rail, maybe people going into the airport. I think it's way too soon, but sporting events, concerts, that sort of thing.
As for our airport, Phoenix Sky Harbor tells me they're not currently implementing thermal cameras, but say they're always looking at additional methods of safety and will continue to monitor as recommendations are updated. Brianna Whitney for Arizona's Family.